2025 is not the year to talk about what you're gonna do. It's the year to get quiet and do it. You spend enough time explaining, defending, and convincing people who don't even believe in your vision. Now it's time to lock in, shut out the noise, and focus on you. You don't owe anybody an explanation for your grind. You don't have to post every move, every dream, every goal. Just let the results speak. People don't respect words anymore, they respect work. In 2025, it's not about the spotlight, it's about solitude. It's about getting in that dark room and crafting your greatness while the world sleeps. Because the truth is, the loudest one in the room isn't always the most successful. The one who stays silent and consistent always wins. While they're gossiping, you're growing. While they're scrolling, you're studying. While they're sleeping, you're shaping your future. Stay silent because silence is strength, is peace, is power. So stop explaining yourself to people who aren't even walking your path. Stop trying to prove yourself to people who wouldn't clap for you even if you won. Focus on you. Focus on your discipline, your peace, your grind. Because when you build in silence, the noise of your success will be impossible to ignore. When 2025 ends, make sure people look at you and say, yo, when did they level up like that? And you just smile because you know exactly when you stopped talking and started working. So this year, focus on yourself. Protect your energy, guard your vision, stay silent, and let your results do all the talking. Silence is strength. Most people don't understand that anymore. In this loud generation, where everyone wants to be seen, heard, and validated, silence has become rare. Everyone's talking about what they're going to do, how big their plans are, how they're going to dominate this year. But when it's time to do the work, you can hear crickets. I'm telling you, the most powerful thing you can do in 2025 is to move in silence. The quiet ones, the ones you don't see coming, they're the ones who shake the world. Because silence isn't weakness. It's discipline, it's focus, it's control. See, silence takes confidence. Anybody can talk. Anybody can post. Anybody can make noise. But not everyone has the patience to keep their mouth shut and grind when nobody's watching. Silence means you don't need applause to stay motivated. Silence means you don't need people to validate you for you to keep going. Silence means you trust your work enough to let it speak when the time is right. And that's real strength. Because the truth is, the louder you are, the more energy you waste on trying to convince people who were never supposed to understand your vision in the first place. Some of you keep losing energy because you talk too much. You're leaking your power. You tell everyone your dreams, your plans, your ideas. And they start planting doubt before you even begin. They say things like, you can't do that, or that's too hard, and you start believing them. Stop letting people talk you out of your own greatness. Silence protects you from that. When you move in silence, nobody can kill your dream before it's even born. You're guarding it, nurturing it, letting it grow in peace. You're not seeking approval. You're building confidence. You gotta understand, silence is not about isolation. It's about intention. It's not about cutting everyone off. It's about being selective about who gets access to your energy. When you're quiet, you start hearing what really matters. Your own thoughts, your own instincts, your own calling. The noise of the world fades away and suddenly you can think clearly. You can plan clearly. You can act clearly. That's the space where growth happens. Let me tell you something. Lions don't roar when they hunt. They move quietly, patiently, strategically. They only roar after the kill. You feel me? That's how you gotta be in 2025. Stop roaring before you've done anything. Stop talking about your goals like you've already achieved them. Go out there and earn the roar. Let your silence be your preparation and let your results be your noise. Because when you show up with real results, trust me, people will notice. You won't have to say a single word. And silence, it teaches humility. It reminds you that you're still in the process. It keeps you grounded. Because when you start talking too early, pride creeps in. You start believing your own hype before the foundation is even set. That's why so many people fall off. They talk about their vision like it's already reality. But they haven't done the hours, the sacrifices, the pain it takes to make it happen. Silence keeps you humble enough to keep grinding when others are celebrating too soon. In silence, you learn who you are. You start discovering what drives you, You start feeling that fire inside that doesn't depend on likes, shares, or claps. You realize you don't need the world's approval to become great. You only need consistency and faith in your purpose. That's real power. That's real power. Because when you stop performing for others, you start performing for your destiny. Let me tell you, the most dangerous person in the room is not the one who talks the most. It's the one who sits quietly, observing, studying, preparing. That person is dangerous because they're not distracted. They're collecting data. They're analyzing the situation. They're learning from everyone else's mistakes. When the time comes, they strike. And everyone wonders where they came from. That's what silence gives you, the element surprise. You're not predictable. You're not easy to read. You're working in shadows while everyone else is seeking the spotlight. You gotta understand, silence doesn't mean weakness. It means wisdom. It means maturity. It means you've outgrown the need to prove yourself. It means you're focused on building something that will speak for you later. Because the truth is, if you're still talking about your dreams, that means you're not living them yet. But when you start living them, your results become the conversation. In 2025, make silence your weapon. Let people underestimate you. Let them think you're doing nothing. Because when they think you're quiet, you're actually planning, preparing, and perfecting your craft. They won't see you coming, and that's the best way to win. The less people know, the less they can interfere. Protect your plans like a seed. You don't dig up a seed every day to show people it's growing. You water it, you nurture it, and you let time reveal the roots. The same goes for your goals. Keep them covered until they're ready to bloom. People love to talk about what they're going to do because it feels good to say it out loud. It gives them a false sense of accomplishment. But the ones who stay silent, they get addicted to progress, not attention. They understand that the real satisfaction comes from results, not recognition. So stop seeking applause for your potential. Let your silence turn potential into power. Silence also builds mental strength. When you stop trying to explain yourself, you free your mind from judgment. You stop caring about opinions that don't pay your bills or build your dream. You realize that most people who doubt you are only reflecting their own fears. And once you stop explaining, you start executing. You stop wasting emotional energy defending your path, and you start walking in with confidence. When you choose silence, you give yourself permission to grow without pressure. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You can fail privately, learn privately, and come back stronger. That's what growth looks like. Everyone wants to look perfect on social media, but real success is messy behind the scene. It's full of sleepless nights, rejections, doubts, and restarts. But when you're silent, you're not performing for anyone. You're perfecting yourself for your purpose. Think about this. Every masterpiece was created in silence. The artist doesn't paint while announcing every brushstroke. The musician doesn't share every note before the song is finished. The architect doesn't show the blueprint before the foundation is laid. They all work in silence, and when it's done, the world stands still to admire it. That's what your life should be like. You're the artist of your destiny. Stop narrating your process and start creating your masterpiece. And don't mistake silence for loneliness. You might feel isolated when you start focusing on yourself, but that isolation is preparation. That's the space where greatness is built. When you're quiet, you start hearing the voice of your purpose louder than the noise of the world. You start realizing who's really in your corner. Some people disappear when you go silent. Let them. They were only there for the show, not the growth. The right people will respect your silence and support your grind. So when you wake up this year, remind yourself, you don't owe anyone an explanation for why you're quiet. You're not disappearing. You're developing. You're not lazy. You're learning. You're not ignoring people. You're investing in yourself. And one day when your results show, everyone will understand why you were silent. They'll see the transformation. They'll see the discipline. They'll see the success. And they'll realize that while they were talking, you were building something unbreakable. Because silence is not about saying nothing. It's about saying more with your actions than your words ever could. So in 2025, let your actions be your voice. Let your consistency be your message. Let your success be your response. You don't need to shout when your life starts speaking for itself. Stay silent, stay focused, and stay strong. Because real power moves quietly. And when it finally speaks, the world listens. Focus over fame. That's the principle that separates the great from the forgotten. Everybody wants to be seen, but very few want to be great. Fame is what most people chase because it looks glamorous, it feels good, and it gives instant validation. But focus, that's the thing that builds legacies. Fame fades, but focus feeds the fire of greatness. You can't build something that lasts if your eyes are always on the crowd instead of the goal. In 2025, this has to be the year you stop chasing attention and start chasing mastery. Because when you master your craft, fame will find you naturally and it will find you ready. The problem is we live in a time when everybody wants to go viral. Everybody wants to post something that gets 1 million views, 1,000 likes, 100 comments. But those numbers mean nothing if you're not progressing in real life. Fame is a highlight reel. Focus is the whole movie. You see the difference? The highlight reel shows your best moments, but the full movie shows your struggle, your failures, your discipline, your consistency, all the things fame doesn't show. And that's why most people don't last. They chase the light, not the lesson. Let me tell you something, fame is loud, but focus is quiet. Fame makes you rush. Focus makes you patient. Fame makes you perform. Focus makes you prepare. When you're focused, you're not worried about who's watching because you know what you're building behind the scenes will speak louder than any post or story ever could. People who chase fame are always comparing themselves to others. They measure their worth by how many followers they have or how many people are talking about them. But people who chase focus, they measure success by how far they've come from yesterday, how much better they've gotten at their craft, how much stronger they become mentally and spiritually. Focus requires sacrifice. You can't be focused and distracted at the same time. You can't build an empire while scrolling through everyone else's highlight reel. You can't grow when your attention is divided between what matters and what's trending. Focus means you make choices that others don't understand. It means saying no to short-term attention so you can say yes to long-term achievement. It means you stop caring about being known and start caring about being great. Because when you're great, you don't have to beg for attention. Your excellence demands it. Let me be real with you. Fame is addictive. It gives you a high. It makes you feel important for a moment. But that high fades, and when it does, you start chasing it again, like a drug. You start compromising your values, your purpose, your identity, just to get another taste of that attention. Focus, on the other hand, grounds you. It gives you direction. It reminds you that you're not here to be popular. You're here to be purposeful. That's the difference. Fame asks, how many people know you? Focus asks, how many lives did you impact? Fame asks, how many followers do you have? Focus asks, how many people did you help? Fame asks, how loud are you? Focus asks, how consistent are you? When you live for fame, your mood depends on others. You're happy when they clap and broken when they don't. But when you live for focus, your happiness comes from progress, not praise. Not praise. You wake up every day knowing you're one step closer to your purpose. And that's enough. That's freedom. Fame traps you in other people's opinions. Focus sets you free in your own vision. Focus doesn't happen by accident. You have to fight for it every single day. You have to wake up with a plan and protect it from distraction. You have to decide that nothing and no one will pull you off your path because the world will test your focus. Opportunities will come that look good, but don't fit your mission. People will come who want to tag along, but don't share your discipline. The real test is saying no to the noise, even when the noise feels like success. Sometimes success comes dressed as distraction. A little fame, a little attention. It feels like you're winning, but if it pulls you away from your purpose, you're actually losing. You can't chase two masters, attention and achievement. One will always rob the other. If you want to build something great, you have to pick focus, even if it means being visible for a while. Because here's the truth. Greatness grows in silence. The seeds of mastery don't grow under the spotlight. They grow in the dark where nobody's watching. You might be grinding for years with no recognition, but every day you're getting sharper, stronger, smarter. And when the time comes for you to shine, your light will be undeniable because it was built on focus, not focus, not fame. Every legend you admire, they weren't chasing fame. Michael Jordan wasn't thinking about being famous. He was thinking about being the best. Kobe Bryant wasn't chasing followers. He was chasing perfection. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Serena Williams, none of them became great because they wanted to be seen. They became great because they wanted to be significant. Fame was the byproduct, not the goal. That's the mindset you need in 2025. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being known. But being known for what? For noise or for impact? For hype or for hard work? Focus builds the kind of reputation that lasts decades. Fame gives you moments. Focus gives you meaning. When you're focused, you're not in competition with anyone else. You're in collaboration with your destiny. You understand that your journey is unique. Your pace is different. Your timeline is divine. You don't need to rush just because someone else got there first. You stay steady, you stay intentional, you stay true. Fame will tell you to show off. Focus will tell you to show up. Fame says they need to see you. Focus says you need to see the goal. Fame says talk about it. Focus says be about it. Fame is external, it feeds your ego. Focus is internal, it feeds your soul. That's why focused people are peaceful even in pressure. They don't need to prove anything. They know who they are, they know where they're going, and they know why they started. In 2025, make focus your currency. Invest your time, energy, and attention only where it counts. Stop wasting your mental energy on things that don't move you forward. Every minute spent trying to impress others is a minute stolen from your purpose. Protect your focus like it's gold, because it is. Distraction is the biggest thief of dreams, and fame is the loudest distraction there is. Focus doesn't mean you move fast, it means you move right. It means you take your time to build something that lasts. It means you're patient enough to play the long game. Because when you're focused, you're not trying to win the moment, you're trying to win the mission. You understand that consistency beats clout every time. The world may forget your name for a while, but it will never forget your impact when your focus pays off. And let's be honest, fame is fragile. One mistake, one rumor, one bad headline, and it's gone. But focus builds foundation. When you're focused, even if you fall, you can rebuild. Because your worth doesn't depend on what people say about you. It depends on what you built inside you. Focus builds character, discipline, resilience, the kind of things fame can never buy. So stop performing and start progressing. Stop chasing likes and start chasing legacy. Stop looking for claps and start looking for clarity. You don't need the whole world to see you. You just need to see yourself clearly. You need to know what you want, why you want it, and what you're willing to do to get it, That's focus. Fame is temporary applause. Focus is eternal alignment. The truth is, when you focus long enough, fame finds you anyway. People will notice your consistency. They'll see your results. They'll feel your impact. But by the time they do, you won't even care about fame anymore because you'll be too busy living your purpose. That's the paradox of focus. When you stop chasing fame, fame starts chasing you. But it doesn't control you anymore. You control it. You use it for good. You use it to uplift, inspire, and make a difference. So this year, make a choice. Do you want to be known for a moment, or do you want to be remembered forever? Because if you want to be remembered, you got to stay focused when everyone else is distracted. You've got to work while they scroll. You've got to study while they post. You've got to believe while they doubt. Focus is not glamorous, but it's glorious when it pays off. In the end, you'll realize that the quiet, focused years were the most powerful years of your life. They built your foundation. They made you unstoppable. They taught you that real success doesn't come from fame. It comes from focus. So in 2025, don't seek the spotlight, seek the standard. Don't chase clout, chase clarity. Don't run after fame. Run after focus, because focus never fades. Results talk louder. That's the truth people don't want to hear anymore. We live in a world full of noise, full of people talking about their goals, their dreams, their vision. Everybody's announcing what they're about to do. But the problem is, most of them never do it. They confuse talking about progress with making progress. They think posting about the grind is the same as doing the grind. But results don't lie. Results don't need a hashtag. They don't need captions. And they definitely don't need approval. Results are the purest form of proof. You can't argue with them. You can't fake them. And you can't talk your way into them. You see, talk is cheap because it costs nothing. Anybody can talk about success. Anybody can say, I'm gonna make it, or this is my year. But very few people have the discipline, the consistency, and the hunger to turn words into reality. That's why you have to stop trying to convince people with your mouth and start convincing them with your movement. Stop saying, I'm gonna change. Just change. Stop saying I'm working. Just work. Because when your results show up, they'll silence every doubt, every critic, every excuse. The truth is, people stop believing words after a while. You can't keep saying you're going to do something and never deliver. At some point, your words lose value. But they always increase your value. Results build credibility. Results earn respect. Results tell the story your mouth can. So stop wasting energy explaining yourself. Let your work speak for you. Let your grind speak for you. Let your grind do the talking. Because when results speak, even your haters have to listen. And here's the thing. Results don't come easy. They don't show up overnight. They show up at the long nights, at the tired mornings, at the sacrifices nobody sees. That's why results are rare. Because few people are willing to pay the price. You can't wish your way to success. You can't pray your way there without putting in the work. Faith without effort is fantasy. You want to prove something? Don't tweet about it. Train for it. Don't post about it. Prepare for it. Don't brag about it. Build it. Because when it's real, you don't need to announce it. People can see it. When you focus on results, you stop chasing recognition. You stop needing validation. You don't need people to say a good job, because the results are the thank you your hard work gives you. When you finally see something you've been working on for months or years come to life, that feeling, that quiet pride is worth more than 1,000 likes or claps, because you know what it took. You know what it took. You know the sweat, the setbacks, and the sacrifice. That's what makes results power. They remind you that every ounce of pain had a purpose. There's a lot of people out there right now trying to look successful instead of being successful. They buy the clothes, the cars, the lifestyle, but their results don't back it up. They've mastered the appearance of success, not the essence of it. But results can't be fake. You can rent luxury, but you can't rent legacy. You can't Photoshop progress. You can't filter hard work. Real results require real effort, and that's something no one can copy or steal. So you've got to decide, do you want to be impressive or impactful? Because impressive is temporary. Impactful is eternal. When you're focused on results, you're not thinking about impressing people. You're thinking about improving yourself. You're not chasing the spotlight, you're chasing substance. And substance always wins. Results are the receipts of your effort. They're proof that you didn't just talk about it. You lived it. Every successful person you admire, their results are what make you respect them. You respect Kobe Bryant, not because he talked about working hard, but because he showed it. You respect Elon Musk, not because he made speeches, but because he built rockets. You respect Steve Jobs, not because he promised innovation, but because he delivered it. Their results are their legacy. People remember what you've done, not what you've said. So ask yourself, what are you building that speaks when you're silent? In 2025, make results your language. Don't waste your breath explaining your grind to people who will never understand you. Just keep building. Let your progress make the noise. People may not believe you right now. They may doubt you. They may even laugh. But results have a way of shutting people up. You don't need to argue with doubters. Success is the best argument. You don't need to prove your worth. Your consistency will prove it for you. The problem is people give up too early because they want instant results. They want the reward before the work. They plant seeds today and expect fruit tomorrow. But real results take time. They take patience. You can't rush greatness. You can't cheat the process. Every step, every repetition, every failure, it all counts. It's all building something inside you. You might not see the results yet, but if you stay consistent, one day they'll show. And when they do, they'll make all the silence, all the sacrifice, all the struggle worth it. Let me tell you, results don't happen when you talk about what you want. They happen when you align what you do with what you say. That's integrity. That's discipline. If you say you're going to wake up early, do it. If you say you're going to study, do it. If you say you're going to build something this year, do it. Don't let your mouth write checks your work ethic can't carry. You don't owe anyone explanations, but you owe yourself execution. Because when you fail to deliver, you're not disappointing them. You're disappointing yourself. Results demand consistency, not convenience. You can't only work when you feel like it. You can't only show up when it's easy. The ones who win are the ones who stay consistent even when motivation fades. Motivation gets shorty. Discipline keeps you going. And when discipline meets time, results are inevitable. So stop asking, how long will it take? And start asking, how long am I willing to stay consistent? Because the answer to that question determines your results. And remember, results aren't just numbers. They're transformation, they're growth, they're evidence that you become better than who you were yesterday. Sometimes the biggest result is not the money or the recognition, but the version of yourself you created along the way. The stronger mindset, the sharper skills, the deeper resilience. That's what success really is. The outside results are just reflections of the inner work. But too many people quit right before they break through because they don't see immediate progress. They start comparing their chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. They forget that results are a process, not a moment. Every little step counts. Every small victory matters. Every day of effort compounds into something massive if you don't stop. So keep going even when nobody's watching, even when nothing seems to be changing. Because the invisible work always creates visible results later. The world respects results, create truth. You can't debate a man or woman who has proof. You can argue opinions, but you can't argue outcomes. When you have results, your presence commands attention without you even asking for it. People start to listen differently, treat you differently, and believe differently because they see what you've done. So if you want to change how people see you, stop trying to convince them with words. Convince them with wins. And listen, results don't have to be massive to matter, but be massive to matter. Small results add up. Consistent results build momentum. The person who improves 1% every day ends the year 37 times better than they started. That's the power of steady growth. So don't chase giant leaps, chase steady step. Don't measure your results by comparison. Measure them by progress. Every day you move forward, even a little, you're winning. At the end of the day, results give you peace. Because when you've done the work, you don't have to argue. You don't have to prove. You don't have to stress. You can look at what you've accomplished and know you earned it. You can rest, not because you're tired, but because you're proud. And that pride doesn't come from talking. It comes from doing. So this year, make it your mission to let your results do the talking. Talk and talk less, grind more. Dream less, do more. Post less, perform more. When you focus on results, your life becomes your message. You won't have to say you're different. People will see it. You won't have to say you're great. People will feel it. You won't have to say you're working. People will know it. Results are louder than words, louder than hype, louder than doubt. They don't just tell you a story, they prove it. So stop explaining, stop defending, stop waiting for approval. Just deliver. Because when you deliver, your results will speak louder than anything you could ever say. And the world will have no choice but to listen. Silence is not just the absence of words. It's the presence of power. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, where every opinion demands attention, and where noise has become the currency of validation, silence is the rarest form of strength. People think that being loud means being strong. They think the one who shouts the most wins the argument. But in truth, real warriors move in silence. Real achievers don't waste their time broadcasting every move. They execute and let the results speak for them. That's what focusing on yourself truly means. Learning when to talk, but more importantly, learning when to be quiet. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means control. It means discipline. It means you've reached a level where you don't need to convince anyone about who you are or where you're going. When you stay silent, you stop feeding the distractions around you. Think about it. How many people waste hours arguing, defending, and proving themselves to others who don't even care about their growth? How many dreams are delayed because someone got caught up explaining themselves to the wrong audience? Silence eliminates that. When you're silent, you conserve your energy. Channel all that noise, all that fire, all that emotion into building, creating, and executing. Silence is a filter. It separates the people who want attention from the people who want progress. It's what allows you to hear what others can. In the noise, you miss the signals. But in silence, you hear your own soul, your instincts, your purpose. See, silence is a form of meditation. It's a space where you connect with your deeper self and gain clarity. Most people talk because they're insecure. They want to be validated. They want to feel seen. But the ones who are truly confident don't need external validation. They don't need applause. They don't need recognition. They're too busy perfecting their craft. The strongest people you'll ever meet are often the quietest. They've learned that energy is precious. They know that talking doesn't change outcomes. Actions do. They've understood that your work should make the noise, not your mouth. When you stay silent, you become unpredictable. You become a mystery, and people can't figure you out. That's where your power grows. When people can't read your next move, they can't stop it. Silence makes you untouchable. It keeps your intentions hidden until your execution is complete. You don't owe the world an explanation for your grind. You don't have to announce every goal or justify your ambition. Let them wonder. Let them guess. Because when the results come, there will be no need to explain. Silence gives you that control. It allows you to move without interference. But let's be honest. It's not easy to stay silent in a world that glorifies noise. We live in a culture of a look at me. Social media thrives on oversharing. Everyone wants to post their plans, their struggles, their wins. But when you start living in silence, you move differently. Silence, you move differently. You stop needing the crowd. You stop seeking likes, and you start seeking progress. Your validation comes from discipline, not from attention. That's the difference between the average and the exceptional. The average person speaks before acting. The exceptional person acts before speaking. Silence is what separates the talkers from the doers. Sometimes your silence will be misunderstood. People will think you're arrogant, distant, or uninterested. But that's okay, because they're not supposed to understand your silence. They're supposed to feel it. The more you grow, the less you'll have to explain. Silence becomes your shield against negativity, doubt, and drama. When people talk about you, let them. When they question your motives, ignore them. When they expect a reaction, give them silence. Because silence kills gossip faster than confrontation ever could. You don't fight ignorance with words, you outgrow it with results. There's a quote that says, "Oh, don't tell people your plans, show them your results." That's exactly what silence teaches you. It teaches patience, it teaches discipline. It forces you to trust the process without the approval of others. The more silent you become, the more you start listening to your heart, to your goals, to your mistakes. You begin to see clearly where you've been wasting your energy. You start to realize how much power you've been giving away through unnecessary conversations. Silence is not passive, it's active focus. It's what happens when you decide to protect your vision from outside noise. When you're silent, you learn to move strategically. You stop reacting emotionally. Every move becomes calculated. Every word becomes intentional. Silence teaches you timing, when to speak, when to move, when to strike. It's a skill that takes time to develop, but once you master it, you become unstoppable. Because you stop chasing reactions and start chasing purpose. You no longer live to be seen, you live to become. You no longer explain, you execute. Look at every successful person you admire. They didn't broadcast every step. They disappeared for months, sometimes years, to focus, to build, to grow. When they returned, the world couldn't ignore them. That's the power of silence. It's the storm before the success. You don't owe anyone an update about your journey. You owe yourself consistency. So if you're in that quiet season right now, don't rush it. Don't break your silence to prove something to people who aren't even paying attention. Trust that when it's time, your results will make the noise you've been holding in. Silence also protects your mental peace. It gives you emotional distance from negativity. You stop reacting to criticism and start observing it. You stop letting every opinion shake your confidence. When you learn to stay silent, you become emotionally bulletproof. You stop taking things personally. You learn that not everything deserves your reaction. That's emotional maturity, and it's built in silence, because silence forces you to process, not just respond. It teaches you to act with intention, not impulse. The truth is, silence is uncomfortable for most people. It's in the quiet that your thoughts surface, your insecurities appear, and your fears become loud. But that's where the transformation begins. In silence, you confront yourself. You face the things you've been avoiding. You strip away the noise of the world and listen to your truth. That's where you find strength, direction, and peace. You start to build confidence from within instead of seeking it from the outside. So in 2025, if you really want to elevate, embrace silence. Use it as your weapon, your shield, your meditation. When people ask where you've been, tell them you've been working. When they ask what you're planning, smile and say, you'll see. Because that's how you build quietly and shock loudly. Every great transformation happens in silence. The seed grows underground before it breaks through the surface. So stay silent while you grow. Protect your peace while you prepare. Don't let the noise distract you from your mission. One day, the same people who doubted your silence will be clapping for your success. They'll ask how you did it, and all you'll have to say is, and I stayed consistent. That's the secret. That's the difference. In a world full of noise, be the calm. In a world full of chaos, be the focus. Because silence isn't emptiness. It's energy being built. It's power being stored. It's destiny being formed. And when the time is right, that silence will speak louder than any word ever could. There comes a point in your journey when you realize that the biggest obstacle between you and your success isn't the world. It's the noise around you. The opinions, the criticism, the comparisons, the distraction, all of it clouds your focus and drains your energy. The fifth key to transformation is learning to protect your peace from that noise. In 2025, more than ever before, peace is your power. The world moves fast, social media never sleeps, and everyone has something to say about everything. If you don't guard your mind and your emotions, the chaos of the world will consume you. You can't grow in confusion, and you can't focus in chaos. That's why you must become intentional about protecting your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. Peace is not something you find. It's something you create. It's not hiding somewhere waiting for you to stumble upon it. It's built through choices, what you allow, what you entertain, and what you walk away from. The most successful people don't just manage their time. They manage their peace. They know that mental clarity is worth more than money. Because without peace, you can't think clearly, perform consistently, or live purposefully. Protecting your peace means setting boundaries, not just with people, but with situations, thoughts, and habits that don't serve your purpose. It's learning to say no without guilt and yes without fear. Too many people are drained not because life is hard, but because they keep giving their energy to the wrong things. They argue about meaningless topics, chase validation from others, and entertain negativity. But when you focus on yourself, when you truly decide to evolve, you realize that peace is your most valuable possession. You stop giving people the power to disturb it. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every invitation deserves your presence. Protecting your peace is not selfish survival. It's the discipline of keeping your mind quiet when the world is loud. Sometimes protecting your peace means walking away from people you love, not because you hate them, but because their energy no longer aligns with your direction. Growth is lonely because peace requires space. You can't hear your intuition when you're surrounded by chaos. You can't grow into your higher self if you're constantly trying to please others. Protecting your peace means choosing solitude over drama, stillness over noise, and purpose over popularity. It means being okay with being misunderstood. Because peace is not about explaining. It's about evolving. In this digital age where everyone shares their highlights and hides their pain, comparison has become a silent destroyer of peace. You look at other people's success and feel behind. You see their happiness and question your own progress. But protecting your peace means reminding yourself daily that everyone's timing is different. You don't have to rush your process to match someone else's pace. You don't have to compete. You just have to continue. The moment you stop comparing, peace starts growing. The moment you stop explaining, focus starts flowing. Peace also comes from emotional discipline. It's not about avoiding conflict or pretending everything's okay. It's about mastering your reactions. When someone disrespects you, when life doesn't go your way, when challenges appear, peace gives you control. You don't have to respond to every insult, and you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Every reaction costs energy, and if you waste it on things that don't matter, you have nothing left for what does. Protecting your peace means choosing silence over arguments, forgiveness over revenge, and perspective over emotion. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. The more peaceful you become, the more powerful you feel. Because peace gives you the clarity to see things as they are, not as your emotions make them appear. You stop overthinking every situation. You stop doubting every move. You stop trying to control everything. You start trusting that what's meant for you won't miss you. That mindset brings peace. When you believe that every setback is a setup, every delay is a lesson, and every challenge is shaping you, you stop fighting the process and start flowing with it. That's when your inner peace becomes unshakable. Protecting your peace also means being careful about the information you consume. Your mind becomes what you feed it. If all you consume is negativity, gossip, or chaos, don't expect to feel calm and focused. Be intentional about what enters your mental space. Read what elevates you. Listen to what inspires you. Surround yourself with people who speak life into your dreams, not doubt. Protecting your peace means creating an environment that nourishes your spirit instead of draining it. That's why you can't hang around everyone. Some people carry storms that disrupt your calm. Sometimes protecting your peace means slowing down. We live in a world obsessed with speed. Everyone wants to get there fast, to win fast. But rushing creates anxiety and peace lives in patience. When you slow down, you start to appreciate the process. You begin to enjoy the small victories instead of chasing the next big thing. You realize that life isn't about constant movement. It's about meaningful movement. Every step counts when you're walking with purpose. Protecting your peace means learning to rest without quitting, to pause without giving up. When you protect your peace, your focus sharpens. You start noticing how much easier it becomes to work, think, and create. You're no longer wasting energy on things that don't move you forward. Peace creates space for creativity, for clarity, for growth. You can't build something great in a chaotic mind. You can't manifest success if you're always mentally exhausted. So every time you choose peace over drama, understand that you're choosing progress over distraction. There will always be people who test your peace. There will always be noise trying to pull you out of alignment. But peace doesn't mean the absence of problems. It means the presence of strength within them. Even when things fall apart, peace allows you to hold yourself together. It's the calm in the storm, not the escape from it. That's why you need to build your peace internally, not externally. Because when peace comes from within, no external chaos can destroy it. In 2025, protecting your peace must become part of your daily routine. Make it a habit to disconnect from negativity, to spend time alone, to reflect, to breathe. Protecting your peace is about emotional hygiene. It's cleaning your mental space from what doesn't serve you. Just like you take care of your body, you must care for your mind. Don't let stress, envy, or negativity take root. Replace them with gratitude, discipline, and silence. You owe it to yourself to live peacefully. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't inspire, lead, or grow if your mind is constantly overwhelmed. Protecting your peace is not running away from life. It's learning how to live it wisely. It's choosing to stay grounded when life shakes you. It's choosing to stay calm when others are cruel. It's choosing to smile even when no one understands your pain. Because that's what strength looks like. It's calm, composed, and centered. So as you move forward, make peace your priority. Build your empire quietly, protect your energy fiercely, and choose calm over chaos. Remember, success without peace is just pressure. You can have money, fame, and power, but if your mind is not at peace, you'll never truly be happy. Peace is the foundation of fulfillment. It's what gives meaning to your victories and balance to your struggles. Don't let anyone disturb your peace in 2025. Guard it like a treasure. Defend it like your purpose depends on it, because it does. Protecting your peace is protecting your potential. It's preserving your power, your clarity, your drive. It's choosing yourself unapologetically. And when you live in peace, you attract abundance. You radiate confidence and you operate from strength instead of stress. That's when your silence becomes golden and your focus becomes unstoppable. One of the greatest lessons you'll ever learn in life is that consistency will always outperform intensity. In 2025, while the world is chasing instant success, you must be the one who masters the art of staying consistent. The sixth key to greatness is simple, but powerful. Stay consistent even when no one is watching, even when you don't feel like it, even when results aren't visible. Because success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, it comes from what you do daily. You can't work hard once and expect greatness. You can't show up one day and quit the next. The difference between the dreamers and the achievers is consistency. Consistency is what transforms potential into power. It's the bridge between your goals and your accomplishments. Everyone has dreams, but only a few have the discipline to wake up every day and work on them. It's easy to be motivated for a week, but consistency means showing up even on the days when motivation is gone. Those days matter the most. The days you don't feel inspired, the days you're tired, the days you doubt yourself. Because when you still push forward, you're building something far greater than success. You're building character. And character is what sustains success when motivation fades. Think about any great person you admire, athletes, entrepreneurs, creators, or leaders. None of them became great overnight. They became great through small, repeated actions done with discipline over time. They practiced when others rested. They learned when others scrolled. They built habits that served their vision. Consistency doesn't give instant results, but it guarantees lasting ones. The slow grind may feel frustrating, but every drop of effort counts. Every repetition, every practice, every early morning and late night adds up. Consistency may not show results today, but one day, all that work will burst through like a sunrise after a long night. The truth is, everyone wants the glory, but few want the grind. People love the idea of success, but they don't love the repetition it demands. Success isn't built on rare bursts of effort. It's built on steady persistence. It's about doing the small things well every single day, even when no one claps for you. Consistency is boring. It's not glamorous. It's the same routines, the same discipline, the same habits. But that's where greatness lives. The ones who master monotony are the ones who dominate the world. Because while others quit out of boredom or impatience, the consistent ones quietly stack victories day by day. Consistency also builds trust with yourself. When you keep promises to yourself, you develop confidence. When you say you'll do something and actually do it, you prove to yourself that your word means something. That's how inner strength is built, not through motivation, but through integrity. You can't trust yourself if you constantly quit on your goals. But when you're consistent, even in small things, you begin to feel unstoppable. You start realizing that you don't need external validation. You can rely on your own discipline. But let's be real. Staying consistent is hard. There will be times when you see no progress, when you feel stuck, when your effort seems invisible. That's when most people give up. But the truth is, consistency requires faith. You have to believe that the seeds you're planting will one day grow, even if the soil looks dry. You have to keep watering your dreams even when nothing seems to be sprouting. The magic happens below the surface before it ever appears above it. Your consistency is preparing you for breakthroughs that others will call luck. But it's not luck. It's the reward of steady effort. One of the biggest challenges to consistency is the modern world's obsession with instant gratification. Social media has trained people to expect quick results. You post something, you want likes immediately. You start a goal, you want success next week. But consistency doesn't work like that. It's slow, it's silent, and it's patient. You can't microwave greatness. You have to slow cook it with discipline, time, and persistence. That's why consistency feels uncomfortable. It's not exciting enough for the impatient, but it's powerful enough for the determined. Consistency also requires focus. You can't be consistent if you're always changing direction. Every time you start something new without finishing what you began, you reset your progress.